Hello and a very good morning. You're watching the breakfast news on Rajya Sabha television with me, Frank Pereira. Here are this morning's headlines. Congress President Sonia Gandhi and Union Minister Nitin Gadkari meet PDP Chief Mehbooba Mufti in Srinagar. Process of government formation expected to gather pace from today. Finance Minister Arun Shourie unveils Stand Up India initiative to encourage entrepreneurship among backward sections, seeks states' help on reforms. Vice President Mohammad Hamid Ansari unveils a new look of Rajya Sabha television, underscores the need to inculcate scientific temper in young minds to overcome intolerance of criticism and questioning. And 3 days after North Korea's claims of hydrogen bomb test, US flies B-52 bomber close to North Korea. Congress President Sonia Gandhi and Union Minister Nitin Gadkari had separate meetings with PDP Chief Mehbooba Mufti on Sunday. Visits that are said to be personal but are being seen as politically significant. This given the fast-paced developments in Jammu and Kashmir after the death of Chief Minister Mufti Mohammad Saeed. Jammu and Kashmir is under governor's rule as of now.
Amid speculation that Congress is offering an olive branch to the PDP, Sonia Gandhi met Mehbooba Mufti at her residence in Srinagar on Sunday. Sonia offered her condolences to the family of the late Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir, Mufti Mohammad Saeed. The Congress president was accompanied by leader of opposition in Rajya Sabha, Ghulam Nabi Azad, Congress General Secretary Ambika Soni and party leader Saifuddin Soz. The Congress, however, maintains this was not a political visit.
Our condolence meeting for which she had come and for the long association which Mufti Saab had with the family and the Congress party.
Sonia's visit comes at a time when the state is under governor's rule. The constitutional vacuum in the state is the outcome of Mehbooba Mufti's reluctance to take oath during the mourning period, a delay that has set off speculations of political realignment in the state. The PDP and the Congress were in alliance from 2002 to 2008.
Question of this formation of this new government or a government which will be an alliance between PDP and Congress, I don't think there is any possibility of that. Firstly, the numbers are not there, even though they both match up to make 40. But to get that 4 more would be virtually impossible for this alliance.
There is already some anxiety about the future of the PDP-BJP alliance in the state. There are many who feel that the contradictions between the two parties could become aggravated following Mufti's death. Union Minister Nitin Gadkari along with Deputy Chief Minister Nirmal Singh also visited Mehbooba's home on Sunday to offer condolence to the family.
जो एक्सपेक्टेशन उनके भारत सरकार की ओर से थे वो निश्चित रूप से हम पूरी करेंगे, ये विश्वास मैंने उनको दिया और मेरी आज की विजिट निश्चित रूप से भारतीय जनता पार्टी और भारत सरकार की ओर से उनको मिलने के लिए, शोक संवेदना देने के लिए थी। मेरी काफ़ी अच्छी बातचीत भी हुई है और मैं यही उम्मीद करता हूँ कि अल्लाह उनको बहुत ताकत दे।
Jammu and Kashmir Governor Anand Vohra on Friday had asked both PDP and BJP to convey their position on the government formation. Since no solution was forthcoming, governor's rule was imposed. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And for more on this, our correspondent Vishal Daya joins us on the phone line. Well, Vishal, of course, the process of government formation will begin today. There have been some interesting overnight developments.
Well, yes, you're right. There have been some meetings which have taken place, but if you look at, the significance, the political significance of these meetings should not mean much, given the fact that the numbers, as the report was saying, are not in favor of a Congress-PDP alliance. But yes, the first family of the PDP and the first family of the Congress have been friends since long. In fact, the Congress president had visited former Chief Minister Mufti Mohammad Saeed when he was admitted in AIMS, not once but twice. Also, a very interesting out here is that, both families have been friends for quite some time now, and we've seen these sort of festive, these sort of exchanges happening not only on such occasions, but also on certain festivals. Also, a very interesting point to note out here is that the BJP so far has not indicated otherwise. They're still hopeful that the alliance with the PDP will continue, and the signals which are coming in from the BJP are also clearly indicative of the fact that they would be okay with the choice made by the PDP, and the PDP has already made its choice of the new chief minister being Mehbooba Mufti. So it's just a matter of some time, maybe a few hours more before a final decision is taken. And this meeting can only be very indicative of the fact that as far as Mehbooba Mufti is concerned, who is now going to be the undisputed leader of the PDP, for her and for her party, the options will be open in the future as well as they were open in the past also when they had an alliance with the Congress.
It's just a matter of time, as you mentioned, of course, all will possibly be clear today. But, so far no decision was taken and governor's rule is in place because Mehbooba Mufti was pretty sure and pretty adamant on the fact that, the 4-day mourning period of the demise of her father should be concluded, and only then will any decision be taken on what or on who the next chief minister will be.
Well, yes, you're right. In fact, if you look at the situation right now, then the mourning period for former Chief Minister Mufti Muhammad Saeed is now over, and we might see finally the process of new government formation kicking in with both the parties conveying to the governor about their respective stance, which has already been conveyed once, and then a sort of a waiting period was sought for. But now that the mourning period is over, the entire process of forming a new government and most possibly, which it seems like now that it will be led by Mufti Muhammad Saeed's daughter Mehbooba Mufti, and she is most likely to become the first women chief minister of the state of Jammu and Kashmir.
All right, Vishal Daya, we'll have to leave to that. Thank you so much for joining us there with those details. Moving on now, the National Investigation Agency is likely to question Gurdaspur SP Salwinder Singh in the Pathankot terror attack case. The agency is believed to have found several inconsistencies in his account of the carjacking and abduction ahead of the attack. Singh could even be subjected to a polygraph test after seeking his consent. The SP had said that he was abducted along with his cook and a friend by 6 Pakistan-based terrorists who attacked the Pathankot airbase earlier this month. Well, Finance Minister Arun Shourie yesterday underscored the need for public and private investments to grow in tandem to ensure economic growth. He also said that states should also pull their weight on economic reforms at a business meet in Visakhapatnam. Shourie also spoke of the government's new Stand Up India initiative. Here's more.
Finance Minister Arun Shourie explaining the new Stand Up India initiative of the government. The measure is intended to encourage entrepreneurship among women and people belonging to the backward sections of society. It will be implemented through 1.25 lakh bank branches in the country.
After Startup India, we have decided to launch a new program called Stand Up India. And Stand Up India is only available to 2 sections of society: women entrepreneurs and the SC/ST entrepreneurs. So every public sector and private sector bank, each branch in the country has to fund one SC/ST and one woman entrepreneur.
Around 1,400 delegates, including 350 from 41 countries, are taking part at the 3-day Confederation of Indian Industry Partnership Summit 2016. Chief Minister N. Chandrababu Naidu is interacting with industrialists to find the right investment opportunities in his state. One of them was with Reliance Defence that signed an accord with the Andhra Pradesh government to set up a naval facility.
We have signed an MOU with the Andhra Pradesh government to set up a new world-class naval facility at Rambili along the east coast, just 70 kilometers south of Visakhapatnam.
Reliance Chairman Ambani cited estimates saying the Indian Navy could spend nearly 200 billion rupees annually over the next 15 years on acquisitions and fleet modernization of submarines and aircraft carriers. The Modi government at the centre is expected to take on a greater role in the field of defence, with a spending of $250 billion over the next decade to upgrade its military. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, it's time for a short break now, but news and updates will continue on the other side. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
The splendid, grand and massive neo-Buddhist copper dome of the Rashtrapati Bhavan. It gets its influence from stupa at Sanchi. The dome is more than twice the height of the rest of the building. The reinforced concrete shell of the outer dome began to be formed during the beginning of 1929. The last stone of the dome was laid on April 6, 1929.
Welcome back. You're watching Rajya Sabha Television. Well, Telecom Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad on Sunday said the decision on net neutrality will be taken after the Telecom Regulatory Authority of India submits its report on the subject. Net neutrality implies equal treatment for all internet traffic, and no priority can be given to an entity on payment of content. Prasad also said that the government respects the freedom of social media. The government had last year set up an expert panel to look into the issues of net neutrality.
Let try the report come. Let a fair consultation be done. We respect the freedom of social media. We salute the great explosion of knowledge on various social media platforms and our larger commitment to non-discriminatory access limits.
Well, in a rare visit since the civil war broke out in Syria 4 years ago, Syrian Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Walid Muallem will arrive in India today on a 3-day official visit. Muallem will brief Indian leadership about the ongoing operation to eliminate the Islamic State and the Russian military action in his country. He will hold meetings with External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj, National Security Advisor Ajit Doval and other leaders. He is also expected to meet Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Well, moving on now, Vice President Mohammad Hamid Ansari yesterday unveiled the new look of Rajya Sabha Television. He also released 2 books, Moments of Eureka and Scientifically Yours, on the occasion. Inaugurating a panel discussion on scientific temper, the Vice President spoke of the need to inculcate it in young minds. He called for efforts to develop an analytical approach that leads to rational thinking and the pursuit of truth without prejudice. The Vice President underscored that discussion, argument and analysis are all vital parts of this approach.
Scientific temper is a frame of...
Well, Vice President Mohammad Hamid Ansari will begin his 3-day visit to Kerala today. He will arrive in Kochi this afternoon and will proceed to Kottayam to attend a function at the K.R. Narayanan Institute of Visual Science and Arts. Later in the evening, he will attend TOCH International Centenary celebrations and then proceed to Kozhikode. Tomorrow, the Vice President is scheduled to inaugurate the Inter-Health Annual Conference at Malappuram, following which he would proceed to the state capital to present the Sri Chitra Tirunal Award to former diplomat T.P. Srinivasan. On the final day of his visit, the Vice President will declare Kerala as the first state of the country to achieve total primary education at a function at the Senate Hall. The declaration will mark the culmination of the second phase of the Atulyam Class 4 Equivalency Program for persons aged between 15 and 50 run by the Kerala State Literacy Mission Authority. Mohammad Hamid Ansari will also visit the Sivagiri Mutt at Varkala before concluding his trip. Moving on now, the Delhi High Court will today decide the fate of the odd-even traffic regulation scheme. The High Court on Friday reserved its order on a bunch of writ petitions challenging the odd-even rule for vehicles after the AAP government defended the scheme. According to the state government, per capita toxic gas emission had reduced as a result of less four-wheelers on the roads. Delhi Transport Minister Gopal Rai also said that the government will study data collected from the trial scheme to do a proper analysis before taking a final decision on the car rationing scheme. He also said that the scheme will not extend beyond January 15th. Well, let's now get you some news and events lined up for today in our segment, The Day Ahead. Minister of Road Transport and Highways and Shipping, Nitin Gadkari, will address issues concerning road safety on the occasion of Road Safety Week at Transport Bhavan today. Home Minister Rajnath Singh and Nitin Gadkari will also flag off a road safety walk at India Gate today. Delhi High Court will resume hearing in the call drop case today. The case was filed by the telecom operators against Telecom Regulatory Authority of India's mandate to the telcos to compensate the consumers with ₹1 per call up to 3 dropped calls per day starting from January 2016, which was unanimously opposed by the telcos. Goa Assembly winter session will begin from today. During the week-long winter session, bills pertaining to the regularization of unauthorized houses, land acquisition and common staff selection commission are likely to be tabled. Elections will also be held for the post of Speaker and Deputy Speaker. It's time for another quick break on the program right now, but much more lined up for you on the other side. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
The sacred relics of Buddha were unearthed in Piprava in Uttar Pradesh. Buddhist monks from all over the world visit the National Museum to pay their respects. These charred bone fragments of Buddha are housed in the gold canopy gifted by the royal family of Thailand.
Renowned economist Amartya Sen needs no introduction. Recipient of the Nobel Prize for Economics in 1998, Sen has always shown a keen interest in the problems of the underprivileged. He has made immense contributions to the discipline of welfare economics and social choice theory, and his books have been translated into more than 30 languages. In 2010, Amartya Sen was listed among the world's 50 most influential people who matter.
Hemkund Sahib, sacred shrine of the Sikhs, widely acclaimed for being the highest in the world, located in the Himalayas at an altitude of 15,200 feet. The Gurudwara is designed with an image of an upside-down lotus flower.
Welcome back. You're watching Rajya Sabha television. Well, Afghanistan, Pakistan, China and the United States are going to begin talks or try and rekindle the talks between the Taliban today. The Taliban, meanwhile, has stepped up the offensive in conflict-ridden areas of the country. But let's hope that some kind of, an update comes on that front. Here's more.
Intensified attacks by the Taliban just ahead of the four-country talks to revive the Afghan peace process. Since the beginning of the new year, the Taliban militants have been carrying out bomb attacks in parts of conflict-ridden Afghanistan, including capital city Kabul. Analysts believe the move is an attempt by Talibani militants to exert pressure on the high-level talks and gain power in negotiations with the Afghan government.
Taliban, maybe they think if they do kind of this activity, have a more visibility and they can again show them as one of the main actor for the peace process, or the main side that Afghanistan should be considering them in the power.
There is, however, a differing opinion as well. Some analysts believe the Taliban is actually splitting up since the death of former leader Mullah Muhammad Omar.
He was not being accepted by most of other Taliban. They were saying that he cannot be our leader. So it means that there are different conflicts, the difference of opinion within the Taliban as well.
Delegates from Afghanistan, Pakistan, the United States and China will meet on Monday in Islamabad to revive peace talks that collapsed last year. On the agenda is Kabul's proposal to identify influential Taliban representatives who could be approached for talks. Afghan President Ashraf Ghani is hopeful that the high-level meeting will lay out each party's role in the peace effort and conclude with an amicable solution. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, days after North Korea conducted its fourth nuclear bomb test, the United States deployed its B-52 bomber plane over the sky of its ally South Korea to show its alliance with the South. Although there is no official word from North Korea on the issue, Pyongyang maintains it was a self-defensive step against a US threat of nuclear war. Here's more.
Tension continues to prevail in the Korean peninsula after the North's hydrogen nuclear bomb test. On Sunday, the US flew its B-52 bomber on a low-level flight over the sky of its ally South Korea, a clear show of force by Washington.
The United States remains steadfast in its commitment to the defense of the Republic of Korea and maintaining the stability on the Korean peninsula, to include extended deterrence provided by our conventional forces and our nuclear umbrella. B-52 missions reinforce the U.S. commitment to the security of our allies and partners and demonstrate one of the many alliance capabilities available for the defense of the Republic of Korea.
B-52 bombers can carry nuclear weapons. Its deployment was part of a series of military counteractions taken after the North announced its nuclear test on Wednesday. The B-52 is capable of bombing North Korea's military commanding facilities from 3,000 kilometers away.
한미 동맹은 그 어느 때보다 공고하며 특히 한미 연합 공군력은 유사시 긴밀한 정보 공유와 강력하고 정밀한 화력을 바탕으로 적의 도발 의지를 무력화시키겠습니다.
The move is a part of the nuclear umbrella that the US provides to its Northeast Asian ally. The speedier than expected deployment could indicate signs of the US intention that it will retaliate severely if the North makes further provocations. South Korea and the US also plan to take further military counteractions down the road and may also deploy the US nuclear-powered aircraft carrier, a nuclear submarine and the F-22 stealth tactical fighter Raptor in South Korea. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, Germany yesterday said that a man shot dead by police in Paris had sought asylum in a range of European countries since 2011. It has called for better exchange of information about migrants on a European level. Here's more.
The French police shot dead a man who had been seeking asylum in Europe since 2011. German Interior Minister Thomas de Maizière disclosed this on Sunday. The German authorities said the man had lived in an asylum shelter in a West German city and had a criminal record.
Dieser Mensch hat Fingerabdrücke und DNA, die haben uns die Franzosen gegeben. Und dabei stellt sich jetzt heraus, dass er seit 2011
The man, whose identity is still unclear, was searched in Recklinghausen, where indications of Islamism were found before disappearing to France. German investigators alleged that he had made drawings of the Islamic State flag in the asylum shelter. So far, officials said the man was acting alone, but de Maizière said the ongoing investigations would show the scale of the organization.
Er ist kriminell geworden und er ist dann auch mal durchsucht worden in Recklinghausen. Da gab es erstmalig Hinweise dann auch zum Thema Islamismus.
De Maizière said the incident showed need for stricter registration laws for migrants as well as a better exchange of information between European countries.
Dass auf jeden Fall das Gesetz, was wir nächste Woche im Deutschen Bundestag verabschieden, wo wir die Registrierung so vornehmen, dass jeder vom anderen weiß, dass das dringend geboten ist und über den europäischen Informationsaustausch.
The German parliament is due this week to debate a tightening of the rules so that asylum seekers and migrants are registered more quickly and in more detail, including with fingerprints and health information. De Maizière also echoed German Chancellor Angela Merkel's toughened rhetoric on the possibility of rejecting the right to asylum for migrants convicted of crimes.
Die Ermittlungen werden zeigen, welches Maß von Organisationen dort stattgefunden hat. Vielleicht auch überregional. In Köln jedenfalls diese Art von Spießrutenlauf, dann wieder verschwinden und woanders das Gleiche aufzubauen, da spricht viel dafür, dass das organisiert war.
Merkel is coming under increasing pressure over her open-door refugee policy, which saw nearly 1.1 million people enter the country last year. More than 600 criminal complaints were made after the mass assaults, with women reporting they had been threatened, mugged and sexually assaulted. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, let's now bring you up to date with the other international news in our World Wrap. United Nations Special Envoy for Syria, Staffan de Mistura, met Iranian Foreign Minister Mohammad Javad Zarif in Tehran on Sunday. Zarif informed Mistura that Saudi Arabia was intensifying tensions between the two countries and would cause negative effects on the solution to the Syrian crisis. He, however, assured that Iran would not allow the tension to bring bad effects to the Syrian crisis solution. He also stressed that Iran had been trying hard to ensure the security of foreign countries' embassy in Iran, while Saudi Arabia attacked Iranian embassy in Yemen, injuring many Iranian officials and staff. Iraqi forces claim to have taken control of further areas of Iraq's Ramadi city. The forces claimed victory over the Islamic State militant group in Ramadi Stadium neighborhood. The capital of Anbar province, Ramadi, was touted as the first major success for Iraq's army when elite counter-terrorism forces claimed victory against IS 2 weeks ago. Hundreds of airstrikes since July combined with Islamic State sabotage have reduced much of Ramadi to rubble. The United Nations Development Programme is still waiting for the green light from the Iraqi government to enter the city and start work to rebuild it. Greek conservatives elected Kyriakos Mitsotakis as their new leader on Sunday. Party leaders hope that Mitsotakis will revive their fortunes and challenge leftist Prime Minister Alexis Tsipras. The Conservative New Democracy Party seeks to recover from its heavy election defeat in September when Greeks re-elected Tsipras' Syriza party amid capital controls on bank deposits and a harsh third bailout with the country's foreign lenders. Mitsotakis is expected to pile pressure on Tsipras ahead of the crucial parliamentary vote on pension reform as part of the first review of Greece's bailout program. Spain's Princess Cristina will become the first member of the country's royal family to be put on trial today. The sister of King Philippe, Cristina, faces tax fraud charges as part of an alleged embezzlement scam involving her husband and 16 other defendants. In the courtroom, the princess will be accused of being an accomplice to tax fraud along with her husband, Inaki Urdagarin. His supposedly non-profit company was allegedly used as a vehicle to win falsely inflated contracts from regional government bodies before challenging the money to personal accounts via tax havens. The amount of public funds paid to Udragan's Nooses Institute has been calculated at over $6 million. Moving on now, here's a look at some overnight sports news in our Sports Beat. Swiss star Stan Wawrinka successfully defended his men's singles title at the Chennai Open, beating his Croatian counterpart Borna Koric in comprehensive straight sets victory. The world number 4 Wawrinka knocked out world number 44, just 19-year-old Koric 6-3, 7-5 in the finals. This is also the top seed's fourth title at the Chennai Open, having won in 2011, 2014, 2015 and now 2016, apart from the men's doubles crown that he clinched with Frenchman Benoit Paire in 2013. Milos Raonic toppled Roger Federer 6-4, 6-4 to win the Brisbane International on Sunday and avenge his defeat to the Swiss master in last year's final. Raonic unleashed his usual serving bliss, but it was the rangy Canadian's ground strokes that impressed the most as he outwitted the Swiss with a masterful display of clean hitting from the baseline. While in the women's singles event at the Brisbane International, former world number 1 and currently the world number 22 Victoria Azarenka won her second Brisbane crown. The Belarusian brushed aside her German counterpart, fourth-seeded Angelique Kerber 6-4, 6-1 in the Brisbane International final. Azarenka dropped only 17 games over 5 matches during the tournament and claimed her first title since the Cincinnati Masters in August 2013. Well, for the 7th time in 8 years, the dynamic duo of Barcelona's Lionel Messi and Real Madrid's Cristiano Ronaldo are expected to fill the top 2 places on the FIFA Ballon d'Or podium in Zurich today for the coveted accolade of being the year's leading men's player, with Barca's Neymar and other contender on the shortlist. Argentine Messi, who will now have been on the podium for an amazing 9 successive years, won 4 times in succession between 2009 and 2012, while Portugal's Ronaldo has won 3 times, once when he was at Manchester United in 2008 and the most recent 2 editions at Real Madrid. The only time in the last 7 years when they did not finish 1-2 was in 2010, when the Barcelona trio of Messi, Andres Iniesta and Xavi went to the podium. Well, that's it on this edition of the Breakfast News. Have a good day.